He said easy work, easy money. Do you agree?
Don't worry about what there's no easy fight. There's no easy fight.
Why is he saying this? He said easy money.
He believes in me.
Yeah,
he
that's
believes
right.
in me.
I like that.
I've never seen like someone on X Factor that can't sing, but their parents believe in.
I'm going in there, I can fight free. If he starts getting touched up and losing rounds, I think the cookie will crumble.
Do you agree?
Whatever he said, we'll see if the cookie crumbles. I don't know what to say. I'm confident in myself. Like, I'm not focusing on him. I just know what I can do, and I can't wait to show it. I'm not gonna crumble. I'm solid. I've been through war.
This is what I'm gonna say. I don't want to focus on it being like about Jake. Oh, Jake's small, so that makes me confident. Jake's this, so that makes me confident. Yeah. I'm just focused on myself. I'm confident in myself. Jake could be 10th. I'm confident in myself. That's what I'm saying. It's not about how he is. I just really like. I've got a good team. I've been through ups and downs. I've stood the test of time. I'm passionate. I'm hungry, and I'm still here ready to fight my heart out. So I'm confident in that.
Anthony Joshua has delivered a calm but firm warning to Jake Paul, making it clear this isn't a celebrity spectacle. He's stepping in as a seasoned heavyweight champion with years of elite-level experience.
Not just the punches you see, it's the feinting, it's the distance, it's the, oh my God, through that jab. Yeah, the intangibles. It's going to be really interesting to see how he deals with the intangibles in there.
Yeah.
And that's why I said there's a few things that I want to do in the ring that he might not have seen before, and I want to see how he deals with this.
Yeah.
Always have a lot to say, but both of us have some of the biggest knockouts of the past years in boxing, and we're coming to fight. We made it smaller gloves just now today. Someone's getting put to...
He emphasizes that confidence forged through world-class training, championship fights, and high-pressure environments cannot be replicated by someone transitioning from entertainment into boxing.
Myself with some of the greatest coaches and greatest fighters in the world because I have that hunger, that desire. Every time I've been knocked down or been in trouble when I was younger, came back 3 years later, got to the Olympics, get in trouble again before the Olympics, 3 years later, become world champion after 16 fights, win all the belts, get beat by Ruiz, come back and unify the division for the second time. It's just constantly drives my focus and my hunger to get better. So I'm going to be a tough man to break down 100% come December 19th because I've been building myself over the last year. I ain't been sitting back. I've been working.
Joshua says his preparation has centered on sharpening fundamentals, tightening combinations, and working with elite trainers to eliminate any surprises on fight night. In his view, this bout isn't about hype, but about highlighting the clear difference between a developing crossover boxer and a fully established professional, a gap he expects to be impossible to ignore.
It's necessarily fair to AJ. I just know that I have the power and the timing. It's the shots that you don't see coming that knock people out. And I'm a tricky knockout artist that people don't give me enough credit for. I've won knockout of the year. So he has to be careful. And I do have the timing, the speed, and the tricks up my sleeve to be able to hit a shot on this guy that he doesn't see coming that can put him to sleep 1,000%.
Echoing concerns shared by fighters and analysts, Conor McGregor offers his own blunt assessment. He acknowledges that Jake Paul deserves credit for taking on a challenge of this magnitude, but warns that respect doesn't eliminate the danger. Boxing, he notes, is unforgiving, and facing a physically dominant heavyweight like Anthony Joshua carries real risk, not just media attention.
I mean, he's gonna get knocked out by AJ though, isn't he?
If he makes that walk, gotta give him his respect for that. Very dangerous, you know. It seems like Netflix are all over him. It's a dangerous sport, and you can't overlook that. Joshua's a big boy and a powerhouse. I've sat ringside and watched Joshua. That's a heavy punching man, and he's a happy and he's a good kid. He has an anger in him. He has a darkness in him, does Anthony Joshua. I don't think a lot of people suss that. So, the fight shouldn't go ahead. My opinion, the fight shouldn't go ahead. If he does it, I'll give him the...
McGregor described Joshua as a true powerhouse, heavy-handed, physically imposing, and carrying an aggressive edge that only seasoned fighters understand firsthand. In his view, very few men can endure what Joshua brings when fully focused, and he even questions whether the fight should take place given the potential damage. Still, if Jake Paul chooses to step into that ring, McGregor says the courage alone deserves recognition, even if the outcome appears brutally predictable.
I want to ask you about a prediction for Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, because I think a lot of people know what will happen. But is it dangerous for Jake Paul to be taking on a big heavyweight? You're a heavyweight, man. I wouldn't want to get punched by you here. Is it very dangerous for Jake Paul to be even taken on?
I mean, no matter what it is, it can be an exhibition fight or whatever fight it is. When two guys step over that rope and they got bad intentions or they ready to throw blows, it's always bad. You got to understand that boxing is a dangerous business and the head is not meant to be hit in the first place. Doctors will always tell you the head is not meant to be hit. The body is not meant to be hit. The head is not meant to be, the brain is not meant to be.
Building on McGregor's concerns around danger and credibility, veteran boxing journalist Gareth A. Davies strikes a similarly uneasy tone while breaking down what makes Joshua versus Jake Paul such a bizarre yet globally compelling spectacle. Speaking from Dubai, he admits that despite the heavy promotion, many within boxing still struggle to believe the fight is real until both men are standing under the lights on fight week. While Davies respects Jake Paul's willingness to take on the challenge, he stresses that reality cannot be ignored.
Ticking the box and signing the contract straight away. Readily, you cannot see a victory for Jake Paul. I mean, you can't. I do worry about his safety in there. I do know that it wouldn't have been licensed in the UK. Even today, people are throwing conjecture on the fact that Jake Paul hurt his eye. He said it was Lawrence Okoli punched him in sparring and that the fight is off. People are almost looking for a reason for it to be off. I've been there myself in the last couple of weeks as well. I mean, I cannot believe, until I see them in fight week and until we witness it, I won't believe it's truly happening, if I'm honest.
Davies points out that matching a novice boxer with a former unified heavyweight champion is something that would never be sanctioned in stricter jurisdictions like the UK. He notes that even promoters appear to be searching for reasons the fight might be called off, referencing speculation around Jake Paul's recent eye injury during sparring. Davies also stresses that this isn't a circus act. The heavyweight division is inherently dangerous, and every punch carries the same risk regardless of popularity or platform. At the same time, he acknowledges the bout is likely to generate record-breaking numbers and offer Joshua a relatively straightforward comeback opportunity.
As I spoke with Nikisa Badarin and Jake Paul at the press conference in Miami a couple of weeks back, if Jake Paul does do it, it'll be the biggest upset in the history of boxing. The biggest shock ever. Maybe one of the biggest upsets in the whole of sport. Some people question whether this really is sport. You can deem it to be circus, you can deem it to be freak show. Spoke to David Hay for an interview in the Telegraph that's going in tomorrow, I think. And he was saying, if he'd been offered this all those years ago and he was in the same position as Anthony Joshua, he said, I wouldn't have even thought about it. I wouldn't even give it any consideration. It would have been a tick in the box.
Davies emphasizes that the pressure rests squarely on Joshua. If the fight drags on beyond a few minutes, critics will question his mentality. And if anything goes seriously wrong, boxing itself will be forced to explain why this matchup was ever sanctioned. As debate continues over the legitimacy and risk of Joshua versus Jake Paul, analyst Wade Plemons takes those concerns even further by examining what's unfolding inside Paul's training camp. And the signs aren't encouraging. Plemons points to Jake revealing a visible black eye from recent heavyweight sparring, particularly against Lawrence Okoli, a significantly larger and more experienced fighter whose jab and left hook closely resemble the very threats Anthony Joshua brings.
Lawrence Okoli, and especially if it's your right eye, if Jake's getting hit in his right eye, that usually would mean that he's getting jabbed, because that jab in orthodox would come out from the left hand on the right eye side constantly, or got jabbed big time with a one big shot, or, and this may be even more of a bad thing for Jake Paul, he's gotten hit with a hard left hook, one that he didn't see because it was right on his eye, and it looks like it landed pretty flush, as you can kind of see here. Question is, which one of those two things is happening? And question is, how is it going down? Because what we know about Anthony Joshua is that he has a nasty...
Clemens highlights that while sparring with physically imposing partners is meant to prepare Jake Paul for the demands of a true heavyweight, The visible damage he's taken suggests he is struggling to evade shots he will face on fight night. At this level, a single clean punch, even in sparring, reveals critical insights about timing, defense, and vulnerability, all of which could become decisive once the gloves are smaller, the lights are brighter, and every mistake matters. Clemens also examines Joshua's mindset through press conferences and training footage, noting that AJ appears laser-focused, already on weight, and driven to apply relentless pressure. Jake's attempts to frame the size difference as an advantage are met with skepticism, as Clemens emphasizes that Joshua's reach, strength, and ring IQ will place Paul in uncomfortable situations he has never truly experienced before.
Worst I've seen Jake look after sparring or at any time during his camps, and maybe there's been times where he's not on camera, but you can tell the levels are higher and the risk is higher and the danger is higher this time around because of how his eye looks. He's probably getting hit harder, getting fucked up worse in sparring than he ever has. Now, he has said that the heavyweights he's sparring, it's actually easier for him and he's not getting hit as much, but that black eye is not the same indication as to what he's saying. So either he's embellishing a bit and this is harder than he thought, or harder than in anything else he's ever done as far as the sparring, the training for this match, or he got caught with something big and that's the only big shot.
Clemens emphasizes that the risks in this fight extend far beyond winning or losing. The physical consequences could be serious if Jake Paul cannot handle the pace and power of a former unified heavyweight champion. While he acknowledges Jake's courage and ambition, the gap in elite experience, and the limited time to master heavyweight fundamentals make this matchup one of the most dangerous challenges of Paul's career. Adding perspective, former UFC title challenger Darren Till weighs in, drawing from decades in combat sports. Till stresses that while stepping into danger can be admirable, there are realities no fighter can ignore. With over 20 years of experience in MMA, Muay Thai, and boxing, he admits even he would not volunteer to face Anthony Joshua under professional rules. From his view, the size, power, and elite experience gap make the fight hard to justify as competitive. Without strong behind-the-scenes safety measures, Till warns, Jake is putting his physical well-being genuinely at risk.
Get seriously hurt in there, couldn't he?
Yeah, look, Anthony Joshua is one of the biggest, strongest heavyweights out there. I've sparred a few heavyweights who come down the gym. One was being a guy called the War Chief. He was massive. He looked like John Coffey from Game Island. No, he didn't punch me around, but every time he hit me, even when he hit me forward, I just felt like this thunder hit me, and I was like, and that's why we have weight classes. That's why you have your lightweight, your welterweight, and from that we can all go up and down a little bit, but we can't make jumps like that. It's just not. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Jake could get fucking killed.
As we wrap up, every voice in the sport, from world champions to MMA veterans to seasoned analysts, is sending the same message. This fight is historic, but it's also a massive gamble. Anthony Joshua brings genuine heavyweight power, years of elite training, and a mindset that doesn't take shortcuts. Jake Paul brings ambition, confidence, and a willingness to risk everything for legacy. That's why the world is watching. Maybe Jake shocks us all, or maybe reality lands like a heavyweight right hand. Either way, this is a moment that could reshape boxing. Now it's your turn. Do you think Jake Paul can survive a clean shot from Joshua? Or does this experiment end the second a real heavyweight connects? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let the debate begin.